Hello everyone and welcome back. This video is going to be a little bit different. On this video, I'm going to go through all the chords and try and dissect the harmonic analysis of one of the most popular songs of all time, Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Let's roll the intro. You might be wondering why this video and why this song. I'm not sure if I've ever mentioned this in any of my previous videos, but I'm a musicologist, so I've studied music from many different aspects. So history of music, harmony, theory, fugue, orchestration, electroacoustic music, music technology, ethnomusicology, and I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting quite a few other things. But even before this, when I was a kid, 5-6 years old, and I was playing my first notes on the piano, I remember I was really fascinated by chords and the sound of chords, and I was trying to figure out what chords were played on the songs that I was listening to. And while I was growing up and I was 7-8 years old, I started to become very good at it. So I would take a song and dissect all the chords and figure out what chords it played. And I was actually getting really upset when somebody was playing a song and they wouldn't play the right chords. So I used to listen to a lot of classic rock music back then, and rock is not the hardest genre when it comes to chords. You know, chords tend to be quite simple. But there was one band that figuring out the chords of their songs was really challenging. And that band was Queen. So I remember me really trying to figure out the chords of their songs, and I was always stumbling, and I was like, oh, I'm not sure what that is. Now, I decided to take Bohemian Rhapsody as an example today, not because it's my favorite Queen song, but because this song has something really special. Apart from the fact that it has all these different sections that are really out there, completely crazy, the other thing that it has is that it's so complex. The harmonic structure is so complex, yet it's one of the most popular mainstream pop rock songs ever written. And for me, creating something that you have in your head and expressing yourself, being daring, be experimental, be complex, and still be mainstream. For me, this is one of the most beautiful things that an artist can have on their career. So in this video, I'm going to try and take off my musicologist hat, and I'm going to try and keep things simple. I might get a little bit geeky sometimes because, hey, I love these things, you will know by the end of this video. And in no way I'm implying that Freddie Mercury had all these things in mind when he was writing Bohemian Rhapsody. Actually, I'm pretty sure that he wasn't thinking of any of this. But let's get started. Let me take you to a journey of the beautiful chords of Bohemian Rhapsody. So let's start with the beginning of the song, and the first chord is a B flat with a 6. So this chord is not just a simple B flat, okay? It's a B flat with a 6th, with the G right there. And this is one of the big characteristic of the music of Queen. They always add a little bit of color to their chords. Now, for me, this chord has the 6th. This is something that we will find over and over again in the song. For example, if we play the theme, we still have that, you know, that 6 over there when we have the main riff of the piano. So it starts getting into our ears from the very first chord. Is this just fantasy? So this is C7th. Now, if we assume that we're in the key of B flat, this chord is already taking us to a very different place, okay? So because this is not in the key of B flat. This actually wants to take us to F, the next chord. Actually, F7th, okay? So we have 7th chords, 2 7th chords. So B flat with the 6th, 7th, that wants to go to, it's the 5th off. But we still have the 7th there, okay? And this 7th, it wants to take us back home. It wants to take us back to the B flat. So now we're back home. So let's take the chords. Is this just fantasy? Yeah, tension, tension, release, okay? Alright, so immediately from the set go, we have a chord progression that's really intriguing. It doesn't let us rest. It's not like, you know, something that's kind of simple and boring. You immediately have quite a bit of tension. And then we rest for a little bit. Then we go to G minor with a seventh. Okay? And this is, of course, the sixth of the B flat. We're still at home, but then immediately B flat with a seventh. Okay? And this, of course, where does it want to go? We have all these dominant chords that want to lead to another chord. Okay? B flat with a seventh. If you know a little bit about music theory, this really begs to go to E flat. Okay? Open your eyes, look up to the skies and... Okay? So, excuse my singing by the way, but I'm trying to give you an idea of where we are in the song. Now, right here, something really interesting happens. We have a little motif that appears over and over in the song, okay? Okay, so we have like a little passing chord. So this is an A flat major with a bass on E flat. Okay, and then the same thing that happened before happens, but in a different key. Now we go to the sixth of E flat major with a seventh. F major seventh. And then another motif. Easy come, easy go, little high, little low. So this is a completely weird chord progression at first, because we have a B major, which, I mean, because you can say that this is a B major, B flat major, A major, B flat major. Now the correct spelling in this context would be C flat major, okay? At least for me. But in this case, we're in a flat territory key, so this would be normally C flat major. Now remember this little motif, because this will happen again and again. Thinking as a musicologist, Freddie Mercury, even by this really nice intro, okay, this overture, okay, it already gives us quite a few hints of what's gonna happen next. And this is one of the things that I find it really interesting. Many people think that, oh, Bohemian Rhapsody is a little bit all over the place and, you know, he put 3 pieces together arbitrarily. I really don't believe that. I think there's so much coherency here that this is not by accident, okay? This happens in the operatic section. So, let's go next. Easy come, easy go, little high, little low. Now we have a nice B flat that can lead us to E flat. So this is a B flat with a bass on D, okay? So it's an inverted chord. So this is a D flat diminished 7th chord that has a lot of tension, okay? And you will see on the software that I'm using that it detects it as a C sharp diminished 7th, but it's D flat in this case because we're in a flat key, okay? Nothing really matters, okay? So now we have an F in second inversion with the bass on C. So let's do it one more time. Nothing really matters to me. So F major with a 7th. And then we have a beautiful cadence, very classic, very, we're going home cadence to B flat major. And then we have the most famous piano riff in the history of mankind, as far as I'm concerned. This is the Bohemian Rhapsody piano riff. And you can see that G keeps coming up, and that's what we heard in the very first chord of the song, okay? And that's what you remember. Bum, bum. That's the magical element of this riff, okay? It's that 6 that comes there like a passing star, As I said, I'm not going to explain this in completely concrete musical terms, cold terms, because I think there's a lot of emotion here. I want to paint a picture with this analysis, let's call it. And then we have, of course, a very typical chord progression, which we have like the 6th of the key. We are in B flat right now, so we have a G minor chord with a 9th, if you can call it like that. I mean, these are all passing notes. I wouldn't characterize them as like G minor with a 9th. Technically it can be, but it's a passing note. And then we go, this is the 2nd degree of the key. From B flat we have C minor. And then we have the F major 7th. Now, this is the most simple part of Bohemian Rhapsody, right? Very simple chords, very ballady kind of emotion. No surprises yet. So let's see what we have up to this point. B flat, G minor, C minor, F major with a 7th, same thing, G minor, and then, okay, now we come to the interesting bit. Now we have a C minor chord, and we have these descending notes on the left hand. So it's C minor. Okay, then we have a C minor with the bass on B, which gives you this kind of really dissonant and dark tone. And then we have B flat, so C minor over B flat, which is basically the 7th of the chord. Now, if you're familiar with Queen, this was a very typical Freddie Mercury, mannerism since Queen 1, Queen 2, the first 2 albums, so the March of the Black Queen. He was doing this all the time, so Bohemian Rhapsody just evolved through all those beautiful first albums of Queen. So now we have this chord, which is an A minor 7th with a flat 5th, okay? Very unstable, because we want to go here, which is, for me it doesn't sound like this, but this is an A flat major with a major 7th. And then it gets resolved like this. I don't want to analyze chords like this, but this is like a passing note to me. Okay? But if you really want to dissect it and analyze every little bit of it, this could be, an A flat major with a bass on G. And then we have the mama bit, right? So this is the chorus. We go in E flat, different key, higher up, very, very grandiose tone. So B flat with first inversion, so bass on D. And then we have the 6th of the key, C minor. With the 9th right there, these passing notes. And then we go to F minor, Didn't Mean to Make You Cry. Again, we have this descending notes motif. Again, F minor with E flat on the bass. And this is again, like we saw before, but instead of going... coming up later. But instead of doing this, he goes B flat. Because we want to go back to E flat, right? Carry on. So E flat major, B flat major with first inversion, bass on D, C minor, and then we have this lovely A flat minor. Very Freddie Mercury, this chord. Very nostalgic, very, lyrical, this chord. And I think this is one of the things that gives Bohemian Rhapsody this kind of bohemian retro feel, this kind of this sentiment of old times. So carry on, as if nothing. Okay, beautiful. And of course it gets resolved in E flat major. And now, check this out. Now we have this motif that happened at the very beginning of the song, but this time it evolves. And then it's like, he goes back to the verse. And I think this is one of the most beautiful ways that it could be done, So if Freddie Mercury wanted to go back to, B flat major, he could do something really boring and really banal, like... he could do like a 2-5-1... and nobody would care, and it wouldn't be Bohemian Rhapsody. Or he could do like... There are so many ways that you can go back to this relative key, but instead, he gives us this motif that we heard at the very beginning, and he does this beautiful cascading path. So he does that. A flat major, E flat major with the first inversion, so bass on G, and this is an E flat diminished chord. And this you could consider it like an F minor 7th. And then he goes back to the original motif, the original riff, so B flat. It almost feels like it didn't resolve, it almost feels like it's in the air, but it comes so naturally, so beautifully. And I mean, this is one of the reasons why I think Queen in general, not just Freddie Mercury, were geniuses. These things are all over their songs. And they might be sophisticated, but people love them, And nobody analyzes what they do. It just sounds amazing and it fills your heart with joy, okay? So one more time. And then he goes back to the same motif. Playing it a little bit fast. I don't wanna die. Sometimes I wish I'd never be born at all. And then we have the solo. Same chords. F minor. So the solo follows the same chords like the chorus. Cascading notes. Let's do it. surprise, now we have this, instead of Freddie goes D flat major. Something new is coming up. He kind of prepares us. See, there's always like a little bit of suspense. Something's going up. You always go like this with Queen songs. You never go like chorus, okay, verse, chorus. I know the chords already. No, they always do something different. So D flat major. Something's going to happen. So he does this kind of cascading notes again. Over C, over C flat, over B flat. And then he goes to completely different thing, A major, okay? So I think this is a very interesting part. The way that he joined those two sections together is really brilliant, and it's not through 2-5-1, 2-5-1, 2-5-1. You know, this is the thing that happens all the time in classical music, in jazz. 2-5-1, it's all 2-5-1. He chose very tasteful ways to get these things to sound really, really joined together. And here's where things get a little bit crazy. Now we are in A major. Why? I don't know, but we have this kind of same motive that we started at the very beginning. Remember this? Very, very first bars of Bohemian Rhapsody, right? And now we are... So he does exactly the same motive that he played at the very beginning. I see a little silhouette of a man. So what do we have here? Here we have a D major with the bass on A major, A diminished, A major, D major with the bass on A. So again we have A, D with the bass on A. We keep this kind of bass on A, it doesn't go away. You could even argue that these are just passing notes, really quick passing chords. They don't really have a function. And I think that's what it is. Same like this one. It just oscillates around B flat, oscillates and oscillates and oscillates around B flat. So with this one, you can call them passing chords, but they oscillate around one center, and that's B flat. It just phrases to, it's just like breathing, but it's all like B flat. That's the main harmony. So, again, it's a playful game here. And then we have Scaramouche. And then Freddie just goes nuts, okay? So we have a D flat major with a bass on A flat. So it goes from D flat major to A flat major. But the D flat major has the bass on A flat. And this is what's happening pretty much a lot of times during this section. So he goes D flat with a bass on A flat major. Again, we have a C major with a bass on G, so second inversion. And E major with a seventh. He goes back to A major. I mean, it's brilliant. So let's do it one more time a little bit faster. Let's see how it works. Galileo, okay? And we're back in A major. So now he just goes crazy. No chords here. And then he does this cascading chords. So this is a C minor seventh. And then, check where we're going. We're going to that first motive again, but identical almost. I'm just a poor boy, nobody loves me. So, you know, C flat major, B flat major, A flat major, B flat major again. So it oscillates on B flat again. So if he oscillates and he revolves around B flat, he clearly wants to go to E flat, okay? And that's what happens. He goes and does the same thing again, 1/4 up, like in the verse, you know, like in the ballad section. So he goes, I'm just a poor boy, from a poor family. Again, he keeps the bass on E flat, and then he has these passing chords. A flat with the bass on E flat, E flat major, diminished, E flat diminished, E flat, A flat major with the bass on E flat. You're just a poor boy from a poor family. And then he goes A flat, spare him his life, and E flat major with the bass on G, so first inversion. F7th with a nice cascading bass line that goes boom, 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 boom. Again, John Deacon was using these cascading bass lines all the time. Millionaire Waltz. If you're a Queen fan, you'll know exactly what I mean. I'm just a poor boy from a poor family, sparing me. So we have this beautiful section, and then he goes back to the that we saw before, okay? This cascading, okay? And back to the other motive. Again, do you see what I mean? This was not by accident. All these little motifs, all these little elements, they come back over and over to haunt you. You know who did those things? Mozart did those things. You know who else did those things? Beethoven, Bach, all the big classical composers. Freddie Mercury was a genius. You know, even if you like Queen or not, there's no denying this, okay? This is so well crafted, this is so well composed that, guys, this is not by accident, okay? So, easy come, easy go, will you let me go? Where does he want to go? E flat major. Okay? A big bombastic, you know, like dominant, E flat, you know, tonic, and then dominant, B flat with a 7th again, you know, E flat, you know, they respond with a tonic. And he keeps insisting on this B flat. Where is he going? Where is he gonna go? You know, you expect like a E flat again. But then what he does is he goes to an F sharp 7th major. And then he just simply goes nuts. So we are in F major 7th. You know, this is the 5th of B minor. We're in B minor now. And it's the no part. So let's go through this a little bit. So this is like B minor, A major, like he wants to go to, this is the 5th of D. And then he goes D flat major, and then G flat major, and then B flat major, and then he goes back and lands back to E flat. So I think this is a little bit of insanity. I think this is the part where Freddie Mercury wanted to express all these things that were going on in his head, because I think that Bohemian Rhapsody is it portrays what Freddie Mercury was feeling at the moment. I won't go too deep into this because there are many, you know, people that analyze the songs, but I think this portrays the insanity when you're really confused. no, 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 you know? And then he goes, okay, B flat. And now we have a little bit more of an open chord progression. He goes like E flat, A flat major, and then, you know, D major, and then we go to, this is the fifth of the G minor, okay? And then he goes B flat major. And then, you know, B flat, B flat, B flat. He insists on that. And we go in the most fierce way into the rock section, which is in E flat. Or is it? So immediately, he changes the key again. F, and then he goes to, okay, B flat again. So you think you can stone me? E flat, B flat. And when you thought that it would be a little bit boring, he goes like D flat. Actually, it's not D flat. There's always like an underlined seventh, because his voice, he sings. So, okay, D flat, B flat with the seventh, and then E flat, to die, and then he goes again to A flat. Then some passing notes, F minor, oh baby, B flat major, F minor, B flat major, just gotta get out, just gotta get right out, and then he goes back to E flat. I mean, I think that for the rock section, the easy and more simple section of the song, this is quite complex, guys. I mean, yeah, I mean, you know, he will never rest. You know, he goes and goes and changes and modulates all the time. And then it's like you expect the same thing. You know, it only played once. But no, 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 no. Freddie Mercury got you this time as well. So he goes G flat major, A flat major, then we have a C flat major where Brian May does his scales, A flat major, and then B flat major again. And then we go to the last section of the song that it's my favorite, to be honest with you. And we also land on E flat. Again, we borrow some chords from the previous sections, like the ballad section. E flat, B flat with a first inversion, bass on D, C minor, and now it's getting different. It's, you know, it's Queen. It wouldn't be the same. G major, so G major, C minor, and then B flat major, again with the cascading notes, very typical of John Deacon. D major again, you know, this D major keeps coming. D major, G minor. And now it's the most beautiful thing. So A flat major, E flat major. And then we have like the concluding bars. So C minor, G minor, G minor, again, C minor, G minor. And now we have this beautiful chord you know, nothing really matters. A flat minor. But then we have almost like an F minor 7th on top. So this you could say it's a B flat 9 sus4. And actually there's a 13th as well. So it could be a B flat 13th sus. And then he resolves in E flat. And again, the same motive, a little bit different. It always evolves. You know, whatever happened in this song, it transforms, it changed, okay? If it was Freddie Mercury talking about him as a person, A flat with the bass on E flat. And then, again, with this A diminished chord, B flat, first inversion with bass on D. You know, this, again, he goes to a darker, more melancholic mood. B flat minor with the bass on D flat. And then we rest on C major 7th. And then I like to hear this 9th, this flattened 9th here. D flat. And then we resolve to F. And he could end the song there. But no, he goes, still, that haunting motive is still there. Anyway. Again, what he did in E flat, he does in F. So, again, the 4th, B flat with a bass on F. F major. Okay? Diminished, F diminished. Okay, and then this is like G minor with a bass on F to my ears. Okay, you can interpret it in many different ways, but for me it's like anyway the wind blows, and then F and gong. So yeah, I mean, this last bit for me, it's the most touching. I honestly, I love it, guys. This is so cool. So again, I'm gonna play it one more time because I just love it. I don't care if this video is gonna be 1 hour or 2 hours. Let's do it. Look how he moves so elegantly, so swiftly among the keys. You don't even know what's going on, you know? It just goes. You know, I just love it. Anyway, the wind blows. I'm gonna tell you something. It's songs like this that you can tell that there's a lot of, feeling, artistry behind them. And it's songs like this that they become mainstream and they become like the pop songs, the song of the millennium and all these things that makes me have faith in humanity, and that, you know, people can appreciate something that has soul, it has feeling, and it's something that's also, you know, sophisticated, and it's art. There might be millions of songs out there, and nowadays music tends to be super simplistic with one chord or even no chords at all. And this also has, you know, it has a meaning, it serves a purpose, and I like it as well. But, you know, I think I'm gonna leave it here, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a different video than what I usually do, but please let me know if you enjoyed this, if you want me to do more of these. This was something that I had in my head for a long time, but to be honest with you, I love doing these things, so I might take more songs and dissect them like this, because this is what I really, really like, And this is why I came into music for. I didn't come for the gear, I didn't come for the plugins, I came for the music. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I did. Thank you so much. Subscribe, like, I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye-bye.